Do we want to wear do we want to wear headphones or no?
I'm wearing headphones. You don't have to.
I want to. Are these mine?
You can use
You
those.
got new ones?
Andy brought those. He's probably going to be mad that you're using them. Not really. He's not going to be
It
mad.
actually kind of matches the shirt too a little bit, just with the white or whatever.
Stefan, they don't match. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's like an off-white to like a very bright white.
Do you mind turning up the volume on my headphones for us?
Yeah, let me see. Do you know? Can you see which ones? Okay, I think it's 4. So here, I'm going to turn them up slowly. Is it?
There you go.
Changing?
That one's mine. Yeah.
All right, tell me when it's good.
That one. Oh, a little lower. That one.
All right. So obviously, everybody who's listening, you can tell by the title that we're going to be discussing the Charlie Kirk situation.
Yes, we are.
We have the Mint Majesty tea with 2 honeys from Starbucks.
Charlie Kirk's drink of choice.
In honor of him, not because we worship him.
Right. In honor of him for what he did to help America out, we shall sip. It is really good though.
It is. It's
when I first heard about it, like it came through like a Facebook reel where I was like, these 2 like college kids came up and they were like, yeah, so aside from like the talks and debates that you have, what do you drink every day? And he said like he had like a few Mint Majesty teas with 2 honeys from Starbucks like every day. Because like that's how he'd wake up and it helps keep his voice.
well, bro must have been rich
Well, yeah,
if you can buy Starbucks every day.
I know. I mean, I bought it for like 5 days a week once because I was just like, bro, this stuff's good, and I'm like, I want to pay homage to Charlie Kirk, but I buy it every once in a while now. Like if I feel like my throat's a little raspy or whatever. Last night we were playing Fortnite, me, John, and Tori. So we were like screaming in the house at each other just to, like, because they have proximity chat now. So like it's called Delulu. And so you can use proximity chat. So we just scream in the microphone whenever we get near somebody and they run away. So my throat was like on fire.
Wait, your enemies can hear you?
Yeah, everybody can hear you. You're not on a team either. Like, so even though you're in the same lobby, they separate everybody. A group of 100 people, they separate everybody. And then you just kind of find your partners. You can link up with whoever you want to. And then you just pretty much use prox chat and everybody can hear you. So you're just screaming in the microphone and my throat was on fire. John lost his voice last night. He was doing like the, hey man, like he was doing that.
Losing your voice from Fortnite.
It's
Classic.
crazy, but it was fun.
I do want to get a PlayStation and Wi-Fi again, but man, if things change or I start making more, then I will. But right now,
I mean, right now the only thing I could do is like if my dad, since he's in Florida, they right now sometimes use my PlayStation 4 because I was like, I got the PlayStation 5, so I'm like, I don't need the PlayStation 4 anymore. But it's down in Florida currently. I thought it was up here in Michigan before they went down. But if they ever bring it back up and they don't want it anymore, I'll just be like, here, have a PlayStation 4. It's a 1 terabyte slim. So
I would be getting the 5.
yeah, 5 is better. I got the slim. The slim is really good. With the disc reader, obviously. Get the disc reader because it's a pain in the butt to get a disc reader. It's like $100 if you don't get the disc reader alone after tax.
Oh, they make them pre-made?
They make them
disc?
Yeah, they make them pre-made and then they make a digital version and then they make like just them separate and it's
Is
like
the digital one cheaper?
I think it's actually more expensive. I think it's like $50 more.
You're telling me that the digital one without a disc reader is more expensive
think
than the
so,
one
yeah.
that comes with it?
I can look it up.
Yeah,
I want to say it is more expensive.
that's crazy. Why would they do that?
Because I think the old fat one, like the original, that one was actually cheaper than the disc one at first. Digital PS5 versus, and then we can get back to Charlie Kirk. Now it started off with Charlie Kirk and then Fortnite and PlayStation.
This is still the opener, the intro to the episode. You know, you don't have to jump right in. There's no rule.
That's true. That is true.
But we are about 30 minutes in, so.
Are we really? I was gonna
Seriously? It's been like 5 minutes.
Oh, never mind. Okay, so the slim digital version is $500. The disc version is $550. So it's roughly the same as what I thought it was, but I thought also differently.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So honestly, everything that I've really learned about Charlie Kirk has been the last few weeks.
Yeah.
Because I didn't really listen to him prior. I obviously knew who he was, and I would see him on some things like the Jubilee things, and I'd see like his shorts. But I didn't really know him that well, or know of him that well, I should say.
He started his stuff in, I believe, 2018, and then he just kept going from there. So I've been following him since 2020. The Charlie Kirk show, his Instagram reels, his
so you're like
Facebook
big time in the know.
Yeah, so I know a lot more. I'm not like the know-it-all of Charlie Kirk, but I do know a good portion of stuff from Charlie Kirk. So I know more recent events other than the assassination there was a South Park episode that they were making fun of him, and I don't know what the all in all is, but like some people assume that South Park was trying to make him upset because they did a parody of Trump and JD Vance on the show too recently. And then there's some that are saying they just did it for comedy, because usually South Park does that with like trending like videos or events. They'll make like a mockery out of it. Yeah. And Charlie Kirk was like, this is hilarious. He goes, the fact that like I've gotten to this point where I'm like helping people and like people are getting upset with me and everything, like they're making a mockery of me, and it's hilarious. He goes that it's Eric Cartman that's mocking me, because they're called master debaters.
Yeah, I saw that clip.
Yeah, so
of him watching it,
and they haven't changed his profile picture on TikTok either. I've been following him on TikTok for a while because that's where I learned most of his stuff before. But yeah, he had it where he was like, I'm going to make this my profile picture. And so he has a picture of Eric Cartman that looks like him, same haircut, shirt, whatever. And it's forever on his TikTok page. So I'm like, that's pretty cool. And then I've been following his, Twitter X, if that's what you want to call it, whatever you want to call it, Twitter
I'm
X.
so sick of people. It's been X for years now. Why are people still confused? Like,
it's not like I'm not confused with it. It's just because I grew up. It's like with MySpace, kind of like that long ago.
Yeah, but you don't call Facebook MySpace.
No, I don't call Facebook MySpace. But like we've known Twitter. I've known Twitter longer than most of these people have known Twitter. You know what I mean? So like because it's still got like the bird and everything like that every now and again too that you'll see. So I just call it Twitter, but I know it's X. I'm not like, oh, what's that app again called, like X, like some people do.
I feel like people are just never going to move on.
No. I'm like, I'm okay with whatever. I already know what you're talking about. If you say X, I'm like, oh, Twitter or X, same thing. It's the same app. It's just they put an X on it. It's whatever. But that's where I got most of the update from things. And X is really informative of like everything. It's weird because it's like the Wikipedia of social media, but it also is like spitting facts that you don't see on Facebook or you don't see on Instagram and you don't see on even news channels half the time.
It's not censored.
Yeah, it's not censored. Yeah. So you see everything. Like that's where, so on September 10th, this was the weird part too. So on September 10th, when everything went down after like the news just broke out, I was at work when this happened.
Yeah.
And I was on break when I heard that Charlie Kirk got shot. And I was like, holy crap, like what the heck happened? Like, did he get shot in the arm, leg, head? Like, what the heck happened? And not even like 2 seconds later after I stepped outside to look and I went on TikTok to see what, like, if there was news or something about it, a video showed his like neck getting like blown. And I'm like, holy crap. Like they're a lot, like, because TikTok's usually like very censorship. Like, if there's anything, like, very violent...
It is weird that they allowed that to show, because usually Facebook is, like, you have to click on...
Like a...
The eyeball thing,
yeah,
and it says
like,
it's censored, and it'll be, like, a picture of a gun.
Well, see, and then sometimes TikTok will do that, too. They'll say, hey, do you still want to watch this, or do you want to not? But this just straight up showed it.
So I wonder if it was intentional.
Maybe.
Like they did it on purpose.
I mean... If you look at too, like I know conspiracy theory wise, but even though it's been debunked now, is that our government was part of JFK's assassination.
Wait, that's been debunked?
Yeah, it's been debunked.
I still think they are.
Yeah, they already proven that the government was part of JFK's assassination.
So it's not debunked. It's been proven.
Or yeah, it's been proven. I meant debunked as in like, yeah, they've already like debunked it, like as in like they've already solved it kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say there's no way the government was not involved in that.
Yeah, no,
like, there has to be.
They 100% like just were like, yeah, no, we were part of that. And then so that makes me think too, even Mr. Tucker. I forget his first name, but it's not
Mr. Tucker.
I don't know what his first name is.
Tucker Carlson.
Is it Tucker Carlson?
Is that who you're talking about?
I think so. No, or somebody Tucker. I feel like the last name is Tucker, but he has this whole documentary now about 9/11. Now
yeah, that's Tucker Carlson. If you look him up on your phone, it has to be that guy.
Okay, so then yeah,
because he just came out with a documentary about 9/11.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, who's to say, like, to be honest with you, I could go 50-50 on that too, whether that was partial government and partial terrorist attack, like actual terrorist organizations from another country, and who's to say then too, like the MLK assassination, Malcolm X, all these other speakers that were silenced for their voice, Charlie Kirk,
Abraham Lincoln. It seems like anybody who is trying to better.
Yeah, they're silenced. But but then also too, here's the other part too about the Charlie Kirk assassination. I don't know if you've seen everything that's been happening, but like the minute he got like shot and he got knocked down and they rushed him to like the hospital or whatever, like nobody was blocking the area where he got shot. None of his security, anything like that. They weren't blocking it. And people were just taking the hats from the crime scene, essentially. And then they tore it down, paved it over. They didn't collect any other evidence from, like, the ground or anything.
Yeah,
I'm like,
it's pretty weird.
That's weird that you guys are cleaning that up.
No caution tape.
Right, no caution tape. Like, and then there's now just discovered that there's camera footage. Somebody recorded on their phone that there's a camera behind Charlie Kirk, like, to get, like, different POVs of, like, the audience and everything. And they just took that straight down the minute that they rushed him into the car. I'm like, huh.
Yeah, there's definitely more to the story, but the theory that I don't believe is that he went down into a trap door. And
that one is like, no. Like, yeah, sure, there is a trap door there, but I'm like, I highly doubt, especially when it's like you see the body being carried and you see him being shot.
Plus, Frank Turek, who is a Christian apologist, was in the car with him.
Right.
And so if he is lying about it, then he's got a real bad conversation with God when he dies.
Yeah.
So I don't think he would lie. But then again, with every time it happens, like, you just never know about people.
Right. And then did you also see too, there's new conspiracy theories about where Charlie Kirk got shot? Not the neck, but I'm talking about like where the bullet came from originally. There's the one from the building that they first were spewing on about. It was like across like 200 yards away from
that's the one that they're going with right now.
That's the one they're going with.
Yeah.
But then if you look at like the cameras from like people's phones and stuff and like other like professional like news reports, whoever was recording, it looks like there's a bullet from behind him.
Yeah.
Because really, I don't know. I feel like you would have to be like ex-military or ex-cop in order to make a shot like that from 200 yards with like out basically like harming somebody else at that point, I feel like. Because if you're just going to take out one guy at that point, like, because there was one guy like right in front of Charlie Kirk too, asking him the question. He was the last one to ask Charlie Kirk a question. And then Charlie Kirk's last words were like gang violence and some other kind of violence. And then that's when he was shot.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that's weird. I'm like, because I feel like if you're obviously you would have to have almost pinpoint accuracy because you don't know if somebody's going to move to the left or right at that point. So yeah, you might have one target, but at the same time, it's like, how can you make that shot from 200 yards? And especially with Tyler Robertson, the guy that they're accusing right now, like, I'm not saying he couldn't have been a part of it, but at the same time, like, from the background story too, his parents were conservative. He came from a conservative household. He's dating supposedly a trans woman that's male to female. And
Lance Twiggs.
And then they have bullet engravings that were found that were saying like fascist and everything else like that to Charlie Kirk. And so it's like, this man had planned this for that long. Like, so what made him turn to the left? You know what I mean? At that point, like that doesn't make sense if he was raised in a conservative house. It's like,
well, I have family members who were raised in a conservative household who are now liberal.
Yeah.
It happens.
Yeah. But like at the same time, it's like, you're really going to get to that point of like violence to shoot a guy. And then his family was right there in front of him too. His daughter ran up to him like because she got scared of the sound.
I heard that the wife and kids weren't actually there, but now I'm hearing like
they were there.
all sorts of stuff now.
They were there. There's video proof that they were there. There's people that just are like, they're getting different. Obviously, there's a bunch of phones there. You know what I mean? So, like, you're going to get different cameras uploaded and different footage, whatever. But no, they were there. The daughter ran up to him, you know, because she got scared of the sound and obviously didn't realize because she's so young that her father just died like that.
Yeah.
So I don't think in a way, I don't think he suffered. I think as soon as it went through, because at the way that at least from what I heard, there was no autopsy or anything like that either. But from at least the footage that you can tell and from what doctors on TikTok have like at least been able to like kind of see is that they hit a certain artery that like just cuts right through. And so it's like at that point, you have like less than 2 seconds to like react to it to try to like prevent it from bleeding even more. But by the time he probably realized it, it was like he was gone. Yeah. So he was gone in an instant as soon as like that was so much blood that just came out. Like he's gone.
Yeah, but let's go back to this Tyler kid because it is weird that he is the culprit. Mm-hmm. But there's also a lot of other weird stuff like a bunch of cars going to his house before it happened. Not like the day before, but for months. And then the text messages between him and Lance.
Well, and even too,
why? Who says squad car?
Nobody. And that's what I wanted to tell you too. There's his friend Candace Owens. She's actually right now, she's got information about this whole thing. She's actually seen the proof of like what the FBI has shown her and Erica. Because Candace Owens has been friends with Charlie for years.
Yeah, but she's a little crazy sometimes.
I would say she can be 100%. I'm not denying that. I'm not saying she's 100% right.
She's like the female version of Alex Jones.
Right. But the only other thing that I find curious too that you can kind of tie in with this, and then I'll get back to where Candace Owens and Tyler rolls in. Actually, I'll say it before.
Well, you can take your time. We got time.
So Candace was talking about Tyler, like she's seen the text messages and everything like that, and he refers to like they were the FBI and everybody were like saying like, yeah, he refers to like a car as an automobile, and it's like nobody in America refers to like a car as an automobile. They say, this is my car. This is my classic car. This is my new car, you know? And they had police footage when he got pulled over for speeding. Like, I think it was like the year before. He was like, yeah, you know, I got to wait for my mom to get here or whatever because she's got to tow it because I was running out of gas and everything. And yeah, she's bringing her car. Like, he just says it like normally. And then Candace is like, so the FBI and they're saying like all these messages and stuff, like he's saying automobile, like nobody calls it an automobile.
But then,
or automotive.
My question would be, who would text that?
You never know, because there's a lot of people that could probably hack into people's phones and like change stuff. I mean, look at AI. I don't know if you've seen the more recent AI too, but they're able to like make things look legit, like even more.
I thought the shooting at first was AI.
I mean,
and then 15 minutes later, I was like, wait a minute, I should probably look this up. And then it's all over the news that he got shot. Mm-hmm. But so what would AI texting him have to do with anything?
Well, I mean, think about it. You could alter text messages. I'm sure the government definitely has some capability of like being able to go through, like if they wanted to go through my phone right now without me even acknowledging it.
Stefan, let's be honest. They probably have.
They probably have.
Knowing you,
they know my search history.
Knowing you, they've definitely checked your phone.
Right. So I mean, like, what's to say that they can't just go through a text message and alter one word? That's going to not really make a huge like standout. Like if you were to say, "Hey mom, how's it going? I'm going to the store," and like you were obviously, "Hey mom, I'm going to the gun store for this." Blah 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 blah. Change it alternately. It's like, no, here's the original text. Here's this text.
Yeah, but what would be the point of changing it?
To make him look bad. Because again, if it's like if the government wants to cover this up, like they weren't part of it.
So these texts are coming allegedly from Tyler's phone to his boyfriend, girlfriend.
Correct.
Okay, so then maybe if they were using ChatGPT to do it, then the AI would think, okay, I'm just going to use automobile.
Right.
Okay, that makes sense now.
Yeah. So she was bringing that up. She goes, yeah, because like that just doesn't make any sense to me. And she pulled up the logs and it shows like how he normally speaks and everything like that, blah, blah, blah. But also too with Candace Owens, the one thing that I still find slightly disturbing throughout all of this, other than the conspiracies that the government did take out Charlie Kirk, is Candace Owens right now is the only one that's trying to fight for justice for Charlie. What's Erica doing? Not saying that Erica's not grieving or anything, but Erica hasn't come out too much since that whole memorial service at the State Farm Auditorium and the Charlie Kirk show she recently just did. But she's like smiling, and I understand people grieve differently, but Candace Owens seems to be more upset than the wife of Charlie Kirk. So that is just a little concerning to me, but like I'm not insinuating anything either. It's just, it's concerning.
Sounds like you are.
I might be. But like, but like that's just what I'm getting at is I'm like, it's confusing to me.
Yeah,
because
you would hate to think that the wife would have something to do with it. But again,
there's been history of it too.
People. Like you just never know about people.
Right. You don't know, like she could be putting on an act for anybody knows, or she actually could just be grieving in her own different way, because she's now the CEO of Turning Point USA. She took over after Charlie Kirk.
Which is also kind of weird.
That is
Although
I'm
glad it's not Ben Shapiro.
That is true. That is true. I would rather Erica Kirk than, Ben Shapiro at that point.
Yes. I also heard that they were going to get $100 million and from a certain country.
Oh, yeah. Can't really say that country without getting banned or something like that now.
Yeah. And it's in the Middle East. It's relatively small. It has conflict with another country all the time.
And now they're about to commit genocide, just the usual.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, with that situation, I really don't know anything about it to speak on it, but I'd like to hear people's opinions. But
yeah,
I heard Turning Point was offered $100 million from said country, and they turned it down. Mm-hmm. So $100 million.
I mean, probably did, as weird as it may sound, $100 million sounds great for me and you. But maybe at a Turning Point USA, they probably already have.
Yeah, but money. Also if somebody within the company was like, hey, that's a lot of money that we could use. And
yeah, then they probably would
running
take
your
it.
mouth about this, and now they're not giving it to us. Mm-hmm. Because I bet Turning Point, because Charlie was, I'm just going to say it now, Charlie was starting to question Israel.
Yeah. He was literally, like, even Candace Owens has brought that up too. He was like questioning everything, and he actually turned down some stuff that was going on too. Like there were some speakers, like he was told that he can't bring on, so he was being pressured.
Oh yeah, Dave Smith, Tucker Carlson's one of them.
Yep, he was being pressured into not talking to these people, otherwise they'd like lose money and all this other stuff, funding, whatever. And then it came to that point where then all of a sudden, conveniently, at a Utah university, he just gets shot. And it's like he was gonna. I can guarantee you, if he was still alive today and like the shooter missed or something like that, or left him in like critical condition, but he was alive today, I guarantee you after that he would probably come out and say like everything that would be happening that he knew. I can guarantee it 100%.
Yeah,
and that's why they wanted him out. Just like again with JFK with his beliefs and everything like that, he wanted to help, and look what happened during a parade, shot in the head. MLK. Assassinated, Malcolm X, Abraham Lincoln, the list goes on.
Yeah.
So it's like, what's so different about Charlie Kirk then at that point? If Charlie Kirk was trying to help and he was spreading real news, real debates, and real problems.
And actually changing people's minds.
Changing people's minds and helping them out. Like, we can't have that. So what better way to get rid of somebody? Make it look like some teenage kid shot Charlie Kirk, but it was really us.
There's also that weird part about that old guy in the crowd who said it was him.
I
know it wasn't him, but I think there's like something to do with him, because they take him aside, and then next thing you know, he's arrested for child pornography, and now we can't question him about anything else except for that.
Right.
So why? Like, how did they find that out about him so quickly? I just think that's weird.
I think it's weird too. I think at first it was probably, it could be several things, but I think one thing is it could just been a random like cover up at that point till they like really knew or could come up with like a better thing, because they're like, this old guy cannot like make a 200-yard shot.
Well, he was in the crowd and nobody knew where the shot came from right then and there.
Right.
So if Charlie gets shot and then all of a sudden some guys like screaming, "It was me, it was me." Maybe he knew about it and was part of like a distraction. I don't know.
But there was also other liberals there too. Like, I don't know if you saw any other footage, but they were cheering after he just got shot in front of them.
Yeah, some people on this planet are sick. It's just something that we have to accept.
The other thing I don't know if you saw too, this is the other thing that's very puzzling that also convinces me that the government was definitely 100% on it. So everybody's wearing their MAGA hat or their 47 hat or Charlie Kirk, anything at that point. There was a guy that was being interviewed from like probably another student or something like that, I think it was, or like a small like Utah news network or something. And he was like, yeah, Charlie, he just got shot in the neck. Nobody knows what's going on. We don't know if he's dead. We don't know if he's alive. And then some guy in like a MAGA hat and like a red shirt that just was like, I don't know what it said. I don't know if it was probably MAGA or something, but he was definitely looking like a conservative. You know what I mean? Like right side.
Yeah.
And he like pushed the kid to the side and said, hey, you need to shut up and like get out of here. No more questions, no more comments, and pushed him away. And I'm like, there's people being interviewed and 3,000 students just saw Kirk get shot at a school. Like, who's not going to have a reaction? Like, right. And then why are you, if you're pro Trump and pro Kirk and conservative, why are you telling him to shut up and be quiet? No more interviews when you're just when you're a bystander? Because the guy was jacked too, so it looked like he definitely was like maybe a security thing or something like that. Maybe like like how they have like undercover people like anywhere at airports, whatever. Yeah. Like he could have been one of those, but at the same time, why are you going to stop him from spreading the news about Charlie Kirk? Like literally just getting shot like 2 minutes ago, and him being rushed to the hospital at this point. Why are you pushing everybody away talking about what you saw? Because he was saying like, yeah, I saw like I heard a bullet like being whizzed by from that direction, and it wasn't in the direction that the tower that they supposedly like were saying it was originally shot from. And there's video of a guy running on a roof and everything like that. There's a video of a guy laying down on his stomach, all in black on a roof.
Well, that would be Tyler, allegedly.
Right, but these were all on different roofs too. These weren't like. So I'm like, okay. So were there multiple like people just watching? Because even at the State Farm Stadium, there were snipers everywhere. Obviously at that point when somebody just got assassinated, I would assume that they're going to take precaution, because even on the stage, Erica and Trump had a big presidential bulletproof like
I saw
thing
that
right there, right in front of them. Because Erica's the target right now. At this point, so are the kids. Anybody that supports Trump or Trump himself is like a target. And that's sad that we live in a world like that, where you can't speak your mind or do anything. Yeah, we are
like regressing as a species.
But I will say, too, I know that there's crazies on the right side. I know there are. I know at least two of them that are crazies on the right side. And I'm like, those people make us look bad as conservatives. But from what I've witnessed, even going to a Trump rally like last year, there are some crazy lefts where they just provoke violence, hate speech, and everything. And that's sad. And again, I know not all lefts are bad. Like, again, I was saying earlier on this podcast that there's TikToks where, I put like, there's people that say like, bury me in red because I have a rally to attend, and they show a picture of Charlie Kirk. And then there's the left side that say, bury me in blue because I have a debate with this guy. And it's like, that's the left side that I respect, because they realize how messed up this situation is. And we shouldn't be just shooting somebody, taking them away because of their political beliefs or any beliefs for that matter.
Right.
Yeah. Like, but then that's where things happen. Like, we just had a guy basically shoot up and burn down a church in Michigan recently. He drove his truck into the church and started shooting people up.
Yeah, it was a Mormon one. Apparently, he believed that the Mormons were the Antichrist and that he was trying to stop them.
Mm-hmm.
Which,
but at the same time,
he's wrong. Mormons do not believe in the same Jesus as Christians. I'll be one of them to say it, but obviously, it gives him no right to smash his truck in there and shoot him.
Right, and then even too, right now, the one thing I actually hate, because you probably have had family members that have fought and died in war. I've had family members fought and die in war. we go back way to like General Custard, like my great grandfather Terwilliger. He's buried in Charlotte, and he fought with Custard back in the day. And then my grandpa fought in World War II. He was on the beaches of Normandy. My dad in Vietnam. My uncle, his brother Dave, fought in Vietnam in the jungles. My most current relative that was serving in Desert Storm was Chris, my uncle Chris. These people fought and died, or are just veterans of war. And you get people in Dearborn, Michigan, cursing America and saying death to America. And I'm like, no, you need to leave. If you're literally giving that much a hate speech towards America and you hate it, you can leave. That's what I agree with everybody. If you don't like the country you live in, leave. Try to come here legally. I still think that rule should apply. But
yeah, well, I think that Americans in general have just gotten really complacent.
Mm-hmm.
We like to come home, play our video games, watch TV, drink on the weekends.
Yep. Party, go to concerts, whatever you can think of.
And it's like, we've heard it all our lives. Freedom isn't free. And it's like, you have to fight that here too. You can't just say freedom isn't free and just expect us to go fight wars, because sometimes the war is here. And I don't mean like a violent war. I just mean like...
Yeah, it's like, again, Dearborn, Michigan. They're just saying death to America and all this other crap. And it's like they're causing problems. They're lighting the flag on fire. And I'm like, what are we doing? Like, what's with all the violence? And then somebody in Texas just got beheaded at a motel. And it's just like, what is happening? Bro, there have been more murders and everything in my lifetime than like even my dad's lifetime.
Yeah, but there's also the internet, so we're hearing about it a lot more, seeing it a lot more.
Yeah.
Because if you do American history...
Obviously, there wasn't all that back then. In like 52 and everything. Like, yeah, you had like the Morse code and everything like that, or radio.
Yeah, there wasn't internet, but like some of the serial killer stuff is really creepy.
Yeah.
And that was happening. There's some serial killers in the 1800s.
Mm-hmm.
That's very weird.
Yeah.
Like real, I mean, I'm talking cannibals.
And well, even too, like the most, I guess you could say a more recent-ish one, probably when we were just thinking about being conceived, was the Zodiac Killer. He still hasn't been found.
Yeah, that one's creepy. Well, all of them are really creepy.
I think Jack the Ripper hasn't even been still discovered of who he was yet either. So,
yeah, but that's never going to get found out because that was like 200-something years ago.
No, but you know what was weird, though? Just side note to Jack the Ripper is they did at one point in the Hall of Evidence or whatever they got at the police stations for unsolved cases, they did have a piece of clothing from one of the prostitutes that had other DNA on it that they were like, yeah, this isn't the girl's, this isn't just the girl's blood. There's somebody else's blood on there. So whoever the prostitute was, like, threw a fight and like probably got some blood on her from him or her.
This is who? The Zodiac Killer?
Jack the Ripper.
Jack the Ripper.
So they had technically proof of who it could have been, but it got lost in the archives.
Of course it did.
So it's probably still there, but I guarantee you by the time they find it, it's probably just going to be dried up dust at this point because it's clothing from like what, the 1700s?
I think Jack the Ripper was like, yeah,
or is it
17, 1800s, somewhere around that time.
Mm-hmm.
But my point is that, yes, there is more violence today, but I mean, evil has always existed.
I know,
we're just more exposed to it, I think.
It's becoming more common. That's the problem. It shouldn't even be like that. Like, I feel bad for my brother's kids because they have to grow up with this. Like, they didn't know, like me and you knew what 9/11 was. We saw it on TV.
Yeah.
We got sent home from Vanguard because of the plane. We were under attack.
Yeah.
We saw the towers fall. We weren't there in New York, but we saw it. And Jesse and Patience, my niece and nephew, they won't know what that's like. They're just like, it's just like some of the kids like today, they make 9/11 jokes and it's like, but you weren't there. You weren't watching it on TV. You weren't seeing America get under attack. So for you to make a joke about it just because you don't fully understand it is like ridiculous. It's like people that make Holocaust jokes. You know, obviously there's a few survivors left from like World War II with the Holocaust and from Auschwitz and everything.
Isn't it weird that one day there will be no survivors left?
There's no, I don't think there's any soldiers from World War I in World War II anymore. I don't think. There might be only a couple from World War II left, but I don't think there's that many more. I think most of them have died, but there are still like Jewish, like because they were kids in the concentration camp, so they're still going to be relatively old, like in their 80s and 90s now.
Right.
But it's weird to think about too. I think they said like it was like maybe 70, 80 years ago when the Holocaust happened. Like that's still
like during the 1940s.
Yeah, so I'm like that's still in a way like somewhat relative.
Yeah, it's not even 100 years ago.
Yeah, not even 100 years ago like that crap happened with Germany, and it's like holy crap. Like, but why are we getting like why is there a need to just like I understand evil exists, but why is it like just it's like a daily occurrence now? It's crazy. Like even recently too, like even before Charlie Kirk died, there was that girl, I think her name was Isabel or something. She was on a subway train.
Oh, it wasn't Isabel, I don't know her name, but she was from Ukraine.
Yeah, she was from Ukraine, and some guy just came up and stabbed her in the neck and said, I killed that white, whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. He had 15 felonies, and he was released from prison like I think 3 times or something like that. And I'm like, so with 15 felonies and you're released from prison 3 times or whatever it was, why is he still roaming the streets at this point when he's clearly mentally unstable? And then he just killed an innocent girl. And then the people in the car, you saw the video footage. I saw the video footage. She just bled from her neck and just died in that train.
Well, there's a lot of stuff, Stefan. First of all, people don't know how to... People don't know how to be human anymore, for one.
Yeah, that's the sad part. Nobody knows how to be human.
Everybody's glued to their phones. Mm-hmm. So if you're glued to your phone, you're constantly seeing all this negative stuff because that's really what sells. Mm-hmm. If you had positive news stories, it's not going to sell.
Exactly.
People are depressed because they're on social media and they're showing... It's comparison. Like you see people who have like great pictures or they have families and like we're not there. Mm-hmm. That's why I got rid of it. I got rid of social media and now my phone is on, I did like grayscale. So like it's just black and white. Mm-hmm. And so now I go out into the world and I'm so much happier because I don't really know everything that's going on. I'm not seeing all of my friends or people on Facebook that I don't know with their perfect lives.
Right.
They're not actually perfect, but that's what it looks like. And
it's the illusion of a perfect life.
Yeah, it's the illusion of a perfect life. And every time you see that, you're not thinking in your head, oh, this isn't real. You just think, man, I wish I had that or something, whether you want to or not. Mm-hmm. And so I think that that's part of the problem is like just a huge mental health crisis.
Yeah.
And if people were just getting off their phones and learned how to talk and look each other in the eye and have real conversations
like
again,
it used to be.
Yeah, I think that we would start to be a little bit better off. I don't think that's going to happen.
Well, even like after the events of 9/11 even too, like a lot of people like came together. Like there were even celebrities that that were ex-firemen back in the day. And I forget the one actor's name, but he went down to New York and helped like a fire team, like dig people out and everything like that. Like people were actually banding together. I remember my mom and dad would be at the grocery store, like at Meijer, like back when, like how they had the dollies where they would like wheel your groceries out for you or like whatever in the paper bags. Like back when Meijer was at that point, I remember my mom and dad sometimes like when they would buy us a toy or buy us groceries and like somebody in line would be like maybe $20 short from their bill. Dad would just whip out a 20. Mom would whip out a 10. Like everybody was willing to help each other out and everybody was talking to each other. Neighbors were getting along with each other again. They were like, I hope you have a great rest of the night and everything. Why don't you come over for dinner? There were a few times where like, I remember, I think mom and dad had like a few of our neighbors just come over for dinner. Like we had, I don't remember Carla and, George, I think, were our neighbors across the street from when we were kids. And I mean, they came over for dinner. We went over there for dinner and swam in the pool and just talked and hung out because we were under attack at that point. Like, and that's when everybody in America got brought together because they were like, bro, we're under attack and we need to like stop being stupid. Like we need to, and social media, I don't even think was that big back then because heck, they had camcorders recording.
No, yeah, they weren't. I don't even know if there was any social media. Maybe like Zanga.
Maybe, well, it was MySpace. 2001. I don't know. What other social media apps were like, hold on.
Well, there definitely wasn't any apps. But we didn't have phones like we do now.
Yeah, they were like just flip phones and everything like that.
That's for sure. Yeah. So I think that people came together there because they saw that, and that was like the only big story, but there wasn't like everybody and their brother's opinion on YouTube about it.
Right. Like you didn't have different things of like, is this a truth or a lie? Is this like
what really happened?
Right.
It was just like you saw those buildings fall.
There was Friendster and MySpace.
And even those still weren't like the greatest social media. Like you could barely do anything with those.
Well, yeah, because it's not like you had the capability of like plugging your phone or just uploading a photo on your phone to like Facebook at that point. Like, it was just a, hey, I'm having a bad day at work. And then you would just play like Green Day or something like that in the background, pretty much was MySpace. That was all that's all it was.
So I think that's why people came together, but now
you can't even say hi to somebody down the street.
So much media, and I would say that people are getting dumber too.
Although I will say this.
Whoa.
So on so I posted it on Snapchat because I was like, it's rare moments like that I'm like, there is still some hope. You know what I mean? For people where I was riding my bike and I was going to family fair. I just wanted to get like a donut and a coffee, kind of thing, just to have for like a snack because it was Saturday. It's the weekend, and this guy comes up, this not an older guy, but like I would say he was probably like in his like 50s, 60s maybe. And he comes up and he goes, hey man, I really like that bike. And I'm like just getting ready to leave too and everything. He goes, oh yeah. I'm like, I just bought this off the lot like 2 years ago, $10,000. He goes, dude, I like it. It's basic. The black is amazing on it. He goes, I love the decal, the We the People in the back that I have on the back fender with the American flag. Yeah. And he goes, and the military stars, he goes, you do military? And I was like, no, my dad served, my uncle served, my whole family served. And the last one was my uncle in Desert Storm and everything like that. And so he goes, I can appreciate that. We don't have too many people that are willing to like just parade that down every now and again on motorcycles or anything like that. Maybe a flag here or there, but you got the military stars, he goes, you plan on doing anything else with it? I said, yeah, probably a few more decals, get a windshield, all that other kind of stuff, and some flags. And he goes, man, I appreciate that. He goes, whenever I try to like come up to people and just even say like, hey, your shirt looks great. He goes, I usually just get silence and everything. But he's like, I really appreciate you like just having a conversation like this. I said, dude, I'm the same way. He goes, well, how old are you? I was like, I'm 32. I said, like, I grew up when, again, like 9/11 happened, and it's just like everybody was a little bit more social back then when we were kids. But nowadays, I can't even go up to say hi to somebody. So I'm like, I appreciate your conversation. So it's like I just had this conversation with some random 50, 60-year-old about my motorcycle. That's how it started out, and we just talked for like 5 minutes. And I'm like, and then I said, yeah, I got to get going though. But I appreciate you talking to me. And he goes, yeah, I appreciate you, showing me your bike and talking. It was really nice to just talk to somebody,
Well, I also don't think that people are meant to live in these big giant cities.
No.
There's no way we could ever be friends with everybody in Grand Rapids. So it's like,
when you got like
hard.
What, 50,000 people or more?
I think it's 400,000.
That was just a little off.
It's either, mine might be a little off too. It's either 200,000 or 400,000.
It's probably like maybe in the middle, maybe 300, something like that. I don't know.
Yeah. So, but I think that's part of the problem too, is you live in these big giant cities, they're crowded, traffic, everybody's on edge, and so it just makes you angry.
Yeah. And I mean, that's where I want to move out into the country, because I'm like maybe not country, but like small town country. You know what I mean? Because then it's like you at least maybe have a population of a few thousand people or so. And
yeah, and you mostly see the same people.
Yeah, you see the same people and everybody's friendly. But I mean, even just that interaction yesterday like made my day.
Oh, that happened yesterday.
Yeah, that happened yesterday. I was just like, this is crazy. You
should have bought him a donut.
I really did, because I had two, and I really thought about giving him one, because I was like, bro, like this made my day right here. And I made his day too. And he goes, yeah, I really do appreciate that. And then he waved to me as he turned left and I turned right. And yeah, I was just like, this is where I have a little bit of hope in humanity still, because at least there's some people out there that are willing to have a conversation with somebody. And even today at Starbucks, when I went to go get the Mint Majesties, like the guy behind the counter, he was sitting there talking to me, and I was wearing my Freedom shirt, the Charlie Kirk shirt. And he goes, what happened to him was definitely not okay. And it's like, I hope people realize that they just regardless of their beliefs. Like they shouldn't be taken. A life shouldn't be taken for that.
Well, I'm glad to know that I did drink the whole thing and I haven't died yet, so I don't think you poisoned it.
No, I mean, again, I already drank mine. I just finished the last sip. But yeah, it's good tea. But just again, small interactions like that gives me hope for humanity. That like we're not all like dead inside at that point. Like yeah, there might be most of us that are, but like there's still some of us that are. They're out there, you know, and you can even relate it to dating. Like you think that there's no loyal people out there, but it's really the loyal people are the ones that are quiet and single because they're just nobody else wants to be loyal.
Well, that's because most of them are on TikTok or YouTube, and they see these stupid YouTube shorts. Or
like men are all bad or women are all horrible.
Yeah. And it's like the majority of women that I talk to in my life have no negative thoughts toward me.
No.
I didn't know what words to use. And the interactions between them are always pretty positive.
And I mean, same goes for me.
I don't like. I haven't met these women in person who need me to be 6'8",
like make six figures a year, kind of thing.
Making $1 million a year. Yeah,
yeah.
I just haven't met a woman who's thought that in my own personal life. But what do you do when you go on the internet? It's all you see.
Is just negative feedback.
Yeah, so you just start to believe that.
Well, even too with the like Charlie Kirk stuff that was going on, like. I don't know. I told you, I think, but like I got like death threats for just being Republican and like being like, bro, this is messed up. Like
death threats where?
From literally old friends. So one guy I met, his name is Caleb too, and he's actually from Canada, but I think he moved to America at one point. I don't know what state he's in anymore, but he moved here, and me and him were really good friends. We actually met on Little Big Planet. And we would create Sonic stuff together, like music and costumes and stuff. And like we were really good friends, and we're both artists, so we're like complimenting each other's artwork, trying to repost and get like people and followers and stuff like that. We were helping each other. And then the very minute that Charlie Kirk got shot, and then I said, if you guys support, because beforehand I already saw everybody's like, yeah, he's dead, blah blah blah, and I was like, if you support what happened to Charlie Kirk, like. You need to delete me at this point because I don't want to be your friend. That's sick and disgusting.
Yeah, and
he sent me a message basically saying that I should have joined Charlie Kirk getting shot in the neck. You Republican piece of,
Yeah.
And he was just like saying all you Republicans are crazy and, RET, so on the rest of the lettering. And he just went on and on and on. And then he found my TikTok and then I didn't even post anything Charlie Kirk related at that moment, but he went on all my stuff and he commented a picture of Charlie Kirk getting shot in the neck. And then he goes, serves him right. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So we're playing that. So I blocked him.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I'm like, bro, that's sickening. And then I'm not going to say where this person works at. But I did know them from a job that I worked at, and they were sending me death threats for just being a Republican, bringing Trump into office. And I'm like, I don't agree with Joe Biden and Harris about what they do. And even when I found out that Joe Biden had cancer or signs of cancer, I wasn't wishing death upon him. I'm a decent human being.
Yeah, I didn't even know he had it.
Yeah, I found out news about it. I'm like, I mean, I hate the guy, don't get me wrong, but I'm like, I don't wish death upon him. I don't care for Joe Biden. I think he's an idiot, but at the same time, I'm like, I'm not wishing death upon him.
Yeah.
I'm not like, I have one person that I work with that actually is like, she constantly talks about having Trump getting shot in the back of the head and just being put out because I'm a stupid Republican that put him in office and everything like that. And I've reported her already, but I'm like, that's not okay to talk about. I'm sorry, dude. It's toxic.
Sounds like you need to start carrying, dude.
I mean, I have open carry. Michigan, you can open carry. I just don't have a concealers. I don't feel like waving around my gun. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't either.
But at the same time, it's just like, why is it just because you vote for somebody or you believe something? Like, what is it going to? It's going to get to that point eventually with the rapture where Christians are going to get singled out.
Because they're indoctrinated, man.
I know they're indoctrinated, but like
here's the thing.
But why are you going to death threaten somebody for just their belief at that point? Like, because Caleb was gay. He was dating a trans. And I'm like, you know, that's his life. You can do what you want, boo-boo. You can do what you want, you know? But the minute I'm like sitting here saying like, man, rest in peace, Charlie Kirk, nothing violent, nothing blaming the left, nothing.
Yeah, it's like you're not looking for a fight, and then they just
I get a death threat.
They come and bring it, yeah.
And I lost 5 friends because I voted for Trump, and then like was like, rest in peace, Charlie Kirk, and my condolences to family and friends and fans of him. And I'm like, so that's just people showing their true colors.
Well, then they just weren't friends of yours.
Yeah, I know. That's how I look at it.
And you wouldn't want to be friends with those people anyway, because as soon as you start questioning anything, they just like get really, really mad.
Yep. Well,
like I've had that with people, even my family, who is more left, where they'll say something and I know nothing about the situation.
Right.
Like I haven't seen anything about it, and I ask them a question and they just lose their mind. Mm-hmm. And it's like, I just asked a question. So it's like they can't
comprehend.
It's because it's their religion. Mm-hmm. So like us, we're Christian, and I hope you're Christian before you're Republican.
Well, yeah.
Right. So we're both Christian first, and so our soul believes in Jesus Christ, who says that I am the well that never runs dry. Mm-hmm. And he doesn't change his opinions. He's always set in stone. Mm-hmm. You know, build your house on the rock. I'm the rock, basically. Yep. But their religion is their politics. So when their politics lets them down, they have nothing to live for now.
Yeah, they get mad.
So it's actually really, when you really start to think about it, it's more sad. Mm-hmm. Because these people basically have to live hell on earth. And then if they don't put their trust in Jesus, when they die, they go to hell for real. Mm-hmm. And so there's never at peace.
No. It is a sad world we live in. And I mean, I feel bad for this girl that I work with, because I'm like, dude, like, you can't be like, I get it. Like, sure, you're going to argue. And some people probably even watching this podcast are going to argue about freedom of speech, you know, say what you want about whoever and whatever. But there's a degree of it that's like, okay, you're in that line where you're crossing it a little bit, where it's a little bit more of insanity at that point. If you're bringing up Trump constantly getting shot in the back of the neck, or bringing up Charlie Kirk getting shot in the neck and wanting his family to wish the same death and everything daily, hourly, and that's all you can think about, maybe you need to go to Pine Rest and get yourself checked in.
Yeah, that's fair to say, I think. Because I think, you can say whatever you want, but I'm also allowed to not be friends with you if you say something dumb.
Exactly.
Like, I'm not asking for you to be taken away and jailed for the rest of your life, but I'm just, unless it becomes actual threats, then that's when it crosses the line. But I also have the freedom to be like, you're saying stuff that I don't agree with, and it's annoying, and I just don't want to be around here anymore. Right. And I think that's fair.
Right. That's, you know, set case and done at that point. So, and then even with what else was there that happened recently with all that? I mean, you can even maybe argue the same thing with the whole immigration thing that's going on right now with ICE, where people are saying like, oh, they're not taking illegals out. They're just taking whoever is illegal, like not illegal criminals like Trump is saying like they're doing. And I'm like, I see videos all the time. And I mean, obviously, you know me, I'm more on social media than.
Well, here's the thing, Stefan, too, is, and there's really dumb people on the right, too.
Yeah, there are. Yeah.
The left media knows how dumb their followers are.
Yeah.
So they can have some teenage kid go on TikTok and say, hey, ICE is taking people who aren't illegal, and they're just going to believe them.
Yeah. Well, what I'm getting at, too, is like, so there's actual news outlets like Daily Mail, Fox News, CNN, whatever, on TikTok or Facebook, whatever kind of way that they have to inform people. There was a guy recently at a grocery store minding his own business or something like that, supposedly. And ICE came in, swatted the building, and like got him and took him away to like wherever they take him, the border, whatever some facility where they make him fill out paperwork for whatever, for being illegal. And it's like, I get that there's people here that want to become actual U.S. citizens that want to work and live in a better country. I'm all for that. Come here legally.
Yeah.
Like,
I think in cases like that, I wonder if there's like a way they could possibly help them out.
That's what I'm saying is like,
because I do, and I know that I'm going to get a lot of crap from the conservative side, but I do think it's a bit of an overcorrection. But
I do too.
But that's what we do here.
Yeah.
Is like if a Democrat gets elected again, they're just going to blow open the wall and let everybody. And it's just like
it's just a rinse and repeat cycle all over.
Yeah, it's like there has to be someone more level-headed about it, because nobody wants like the grandma selling street tacos to be sent back.
Right.
It's just like we need
like drug lords and like sex traffickers and everything like that
like
taken away.
Like, and people have to be able to admit that yes, bad people come over the border.
Yeah.
Not all of them.
Not all, but some.
It's just like we have to know that. And so like I do wish that there was a way that they could help out the people who, they came here illegally, which if Biden was allowing you, wouldn't you do that? You'd be like, heck yeah, I'm coming over.
Yeah, I'm coming over with no consequences.
And so like, because some of those people do actually contribute to society.
Yeah, they do. Like they do jobs that I wouldn't do. Like if it was picking up pig poop, or if it was like picking out like berries out in a field, like in a hot, like 90 to 100 degree weather, like I'm not going to want to do that.
I could do that, but
you know what I mean? Like there's people that aren't going to want to do that.
I just think it's wrong that they pay them such crappy wages.
Yeah, I think they should be paired even for the U.S. citizens, I feel like at that point, the U.S. citizens should be definitely taken care of first before immigrants.
Right, I agree with that. But I'm just saying, like, the reason why a lot of people are upset is because prices are going to go up now because they've been getting away with paying these people who work really hard, really crappy wages because they can pay them under the table. And I think that's wrong.
Well, I mean, I don't know if you also heard too, but the Biden administration just got caught laundering money pretty much and sending it over to other countries. Like they sent like over $3.5 billion over to whatever country it is in the Middle East that starts with a D for electric buses. And then they spent $300 million for male prostitutes in some other Middle Eastern country. And then they spent another $500 million on something else over not in a Middle Eastern, but like somewhere else over in another country for what was it? I think for abortions and all this other stuff. And I'm just like, so, and you know, maybe again some people are going to argue this, but why am I struggling to try to find an apartment that's at a decent wage where I'm working my butt off at work to try to get said apartment, but yet the rent keeps rising at that point and nothing is getting cheaper, but yet we're just we're taxed on everything. Like I'm taxed on my car that I'm owning to drive, to get taxed to work, to tax to eat, to tax to whatever, and then I owe taxes, but then get only like maybe $1,000 back. I'm like, but yet you want to spend millions of dollars for male prostitutes over in a Middle Eastern country to learn lap dances? Like, dude, are you kidding?
These are priorities, man.
Yeah, apparently. But anyway, you get where I'm coming from. It's like, take care of your American citizens first. Make sure that if you're going to work and you actually want to work and you actually want to contribute, you should be able to have a livable wage. I should be able to have an apartment or a home. I should be able to at least live comfortably. I don't have to have like the most luxury life like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, where I'm living a 20-bedroom mansion with 5 swimming pools and 6 arcades. I'm like, I just want a small, maybe even just a single wide mobile home that's in decent shape that I can just sit down, pay my water, electric, and just chill.
Those mobile homes are pretty big on the inside.
That's what I'm saying is I'm like, I don't need anything big. Nobody needs anything that big. They want stuff that's big, but they don't need stuff that's big.
That's true. Okay. With the whole Charlie Kirk thing that happened, what do you think is going to be the aftermath now? Do things get better? Do things get worse?
In a way, I think a mixture of both. I think in the way that it gets better is that a lot of people are going to be able to, they're standing up for themselves and what they believe in at this point.
Yeah.
Like me, I walked in with a freedom shirt that everybody knows that Charlie Kirk wore. Everybody knows that Charlie Kirk stands for this.
Yep.
I've even walked into stores with that, where it says Charlie Kirk on the back with the Turning Point USA, the American flag, and his name on it.
Mm-hmm.
So people are tired of the violence, and I think people are going to stand up to it a lot more.
Yeah.
Now, the con to that is that there's probably going to be more violence as we can see, there's still riots going on. There's the National Guard getting sent. People, I don't know if you heard, but I think J.D. Vance or Trump mentioned something about because of what Whitmer's doing right now here in Michigan, National Guard might be coming to Michigan.
I don't even know what she did. And I live here.
It's Whitmer.
Yeah, what did she do in Michigan?
She's very Democratic, first of all.
Well, yeah. Well, you mean like Democrat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's very Democratic. She's all for like bringing the illegals in here without any kind of paperwork and everything else. She's into the whole like Black Lives Matter movement and making it to where basically it's like impossible for anybody. Like she's okaying and funding all these like riots and everything like that too. Like she was also caught with part of that too. She was caught with at least funding some of that. Not all of it, but some of it for the riots that happened a few years ago for George Floyd. She also was funding all this stuff. She was like, she's just giving money away for like EBT and everything like that too. Or the, what do you call it? There's like it's where they give money to like, I can't think of the word.
But why would the National Guard have to come here?
Because there's a lot more violence going on, especially with Dearborn right now. That's mainly what sparked it, is what happened in Dearborn, where these Muslims are just there and they're just like, death to America, and they're burning the flag and like starting crap. It's like, yeah, no, the National Guard is definitely coming. But yeah, Whitmer is just like okaying all of this to happen. Not the National Guard, but she's okaying for all this stuff to happen, the riots and funding and giving like welfare. That's what I was thinking of. She's giving welfare away to like, she's just approving it. So like anybody can basically apply for welfare. Anybody can apply for like food stamps or whatever. And she just like, here you go, for the state of Michigan, you're approved. And you may not even need it. So I know I can afford my food and groceries, but like if I wanted to, I could go get an EBT card. I could go get food stamps. I could go get whatever. And she's just okaying it just because. And it's like, bro, that's not the point. And it's mainly for illegals at this point. It's not for like the working class like me or my brother. It's for the illegals that she's like funding this for. So it's like, how about you take care of the Michigan residents first, the U.S. Michigan residences that are here legally, and then get to the immigrants at that point. Not saying you shouldn't take care of them if they're here to actually work and be a U.S. citizen, but make sure like you take care of the current residents first that actually need it, that actually deserve it. Not the ones that are just, I need it, but yet you see at the grocery stores, they're like, I need my EBT. I have my welfare check, and I'm buying 20 packs of Busch Light. And then, oh yeah, my EBT card, I'll just get a thing of milk and cereal for the children. Sorry, if you got money for that, you got money for that. So you don't need to be on EBT at that point. If you're buying cigarettes, beer, lotto, or anything like that, you can.
Stefan, I think a lot of people would agree with you on that.
Yeah.
Do you think that there's going to be a Christian revival now that this whole thing has happened?
I don't know if it'll be as big as what maybe some people are thinking, but I think it'll be big enough to make an impact.
Well, look at you. Aren't you going to be doing something?
Yeah, I already applied for Turning Point USA and everything like that, and I'm already doing my own thing. I'm not afraid to share my beliefs or anything like that anymore.
Yeah, that's good.
And all my little problems that I did have before, like, you know about them. Like, I was going through some mental crap.
Yeah.
You know, all that just was like, after Charlie Kirk's assassination and rethinking some things, I'm like, my problems aren't so big. So
Do you think that's going to last, or do you think it's an emotional?
No, it's going to last.
It better.
Well, I mean, think about it already. It's already been a month, pretty much, since his assassination too.
Yeah.
And usually with me, I already know my patterns of how this would work. Is I would be okay for like a week or two, and then like after that, it would just start declining, and then I would get back up and then decline.
What are you going to be doing for Turning Point?
I don't know what I would have. That like maybe just either setting up debate stuff like the tables or whatever they got going on there for like different universities and stuff, if they're still going to be doing the debates, or helping out with charity events, whatever they do down there. I looked it up a little bit, but like they don't really give too many job descriptions of what you can do. Like they just ask you, are you a student? Are you a U.S. citizen? Are you male, female? Are you like whatever? And then here's where you can work. And it says like Phoenix, Arizona, or Washington, D.C., or wherever else they have stationed. So they don't really give like a full job description, but you can select careers. And then they are like, yeah, you could, there's maybe like this you can do. And it's just like a very vague description. So I'm like, I'm still researching it a little bit.
That's kind of
more.
weird. You think they'd let you know?
I mean, I'm sure they do. I think I just probably over skimmed it pretty much at that point.
Yeah,
but I'm
knowing you.
Knowing me, yeah. I'll fully admit it. Like, there's some things I'll just like skim through and be like, yeah, I don't
What
think
if you show up, say they offer you a job in Arizona, and then all of a sudden
it's like custodial work?
That wouldn't be so bad. But what if they were like, we need you to be a human shield?
I'd be terrified.
Like when they're debating, when like our guy is debating, you stand in front of him just in case somebody shoots, and
if it's six figures a year, maybe. I'm just saying. But yeah, I mean, like I think it would be kind of nice to like help out. But I will say is like my patriotism has like come out a little bit more too.
But what about your Christianity?
Christianity too. I'm like, I'm not afraid at work to like tell people like I'm Christian, like what you're doing is wrong or anything like that. If like they're gonna bring up something like with the whole Charlie Kirk or Trump getting shot in the back of the head kind of thing, like where you're like, yeah, I wish Trump would just get shot. And, he's dead. You're a stupid Republican. I'm like, hey, honestly, Ray, like before I would just like not speak my mind. Like I just kind of yeah, whatever, blah blah. Like turn the other cheek,
Yeah.
I just be like, look, dude, I'm like, you are crossing a line. I'm not appreciating it. And I'm sure other people in here, they may be for you, they may not be for you. But out of respect, I would just ask you to please stop. If it continues, I'm going to take it up a notch and I'm going to send it to HR or I'm going to talk to my boss about it. And it's not okay. I don't agree with it. You don't see me talking about Biden getting shot in the back of the head. You don't see me talking about Harris, getting run over by a car or something stupid happening to her. I'm like, I'm respecting that you are Democrat. I am Republican.
Mm-hmm.
We both have different viewpoints of how the country should be run. You're wishing death upon somebody and calling me a stupid Republican when I have not said anything to you about being a liberal. Mm-hmm. And you're literally acting like one. So I'm like, if you want to get into this, then after we clock out at 5:00, we can talk all you want. But while we are at work, I would ask you to shut up. Is what I literally did. I looked at her and I said, I'd ask you to shut up. And if it continues, I'm going to go to my boss or HR. That's literally what I told them.
I think more of these issues would be solved if people got headgear and boxing gloves and just were like, hey, let's just like duke it out in the back lot.
One-on-one?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's
mouth
crazy.
guards. I mean, you wouldn't get hurt. You don't really get hurt with those headgear. But I also think
but you can get your ear bitten off like Mike Tyson back in the day.
Not if you wear headgear, because it protects your ears.
Oh yeah, sure.
And I'm also saying keep it civil with like just the boxing gloves. I'm not saying like start biting people. That's just weird.
Well, I mean, back then was kind of a whole different breed of people too. Like they were a lot more like, I guess you could say, tough back then.
Testosterone was higher.
Yeah, compared to now, testosterone's like low as crap.
Yeah.
Like you can't even get like half the guys to like even ask a girl out anymore. Because, I mean, again, also there's complications with that. Same thing with women with estrogen.
It is scary.
It is. It is scary.
But also it's like weird because it'd be nice to do it at the gym.
Yeah.
But then it's like if she rejects you, you know what? We're in our 30s. If she rejects us, it's really not the end of the world anymore.
But also too, like, okay, this might be contradicting to some people. I'm just going to say it. But there's women in there that literally dress to make you look at them. And then if you approach them and be like, hey, do you need help lifting that dumbbell or something like that? They're like, oh my God, you're sexualizing me. And then like they'll go get staff and then you're banned from the gym.
Yeah, I'm sure it does happen.
So when I'm at the gym, even though I'm single, like I don't approach women. Like the only time I've really talked to a woman is either asking her if she's done with the machine or if like there was a couple girls when I was on the treadmill and they were using the what are they called? They start with an L or something like that. But like you put your feet down and you have like the little pegs that you do this
elliptical.
Elliptical. They were trying to get it turned on and they turned on the button and it wasn't turning on. And they were like, what the heck? And I said, you just got to start running with it and then it'll turn on its own and then it'll start tracking you. Like, oh, okay, thank you. And that was it. That's all the conversation I'm having with a woman there. And if a woman approaches me, I'm sorry at the gym, I'm there to focus.
Oh, Stefan, if a hot girl came through at the gym and started talking, he was like, I'm really into you. Do you want my number? You're going to be like, sorry, I'm too focused on my workout.
No, there's a difference. If there's a hot girl that comes up to me outside of the gym, then it's free game. if it's at the gym, I know it's a trap because I'm not going to get set up of a possibility of a 50-50 chance of a girl's like saying, oh, he was coming on to me and he did something to me. Because think about it this way. How often do you hear about a guy reporting a girl for sexual harassment at a gym?
Never.
Exactly. You never hear about a guy getting molested or whatever by
there
a
goes
woman.
the monetization on this video.
Well, it's not the other R word.
I know.
So, I mean.
And there's plenty of other words we used anyway.
Yeah.
I always joke about that.
But like that is a true fact is like you don't see too many like men coming up to like the custodial desk or whatever, the customer service desk and be like, hey, you know, she's harassing me over there. She's wearing tight, skimpy clothes and everything. And she came up to me and wanted to ask me out. She won't leave me alone. It's like, they're not going to do anything. They're just like, she's a woman. It's fine. But then if a girl comes up to them and says, hey, this guy like at the treadmill over there, he won't leave me alone. They're going to kick you out, even if you had nothing to do with it. And you were just wearing your headphones, minding your own business.
Stefan, I got to be honest with you. I don't know what you're watching, but I don't think that happens.
No,
that often.
it has happened. I was at the gym with Brian one day, my buddy Brian, not the one from Utah, but like the one that I work with, and we witnessed it firsthand. We were like, bro was just minding his own business because the people came up because they saw us looking at him, and they like one of the customer service reps came up and he goes, "Did you guys see what happened? Because like you guys were right near the event." And we were like, he literally was just listening to music the entire time. And it's like he wasn't even doing anything. She came up. She was literally wearing like yoga pants that like you could see every curve. No joke. And then she's wearing the sports bra that, again, you can see every curve. So it's like, I understand maybe with women's clothing for the gym, it's maybe difficult to like find athletic clothing.
It's not.
To a degree.
They do it on purpose. Everybody knows it. I'm tired of like beating around the bush saying that they don't. They do it for attention. They like the attention, and then when they can use it against you, they do. I get it. But I have yet to, I mean, I've gone up to women, and I've never gotten charged.
Well, no, and neither have I. But like when me and my buddy Brian saw it at like the Alpine gym that we go to, that's what we saw. And it was like, what the heck just happened? Like, and the guy walked out, like, he was actually, like, upset. And like, they didn't say anything about him being banned or anything. He goes, yeah, we're going to have to ask you to leave, man. Like, she's really complaining about you and everything. And he just, like, walked out. And he just was, like, upset. And we're just like,
if that happened, I would have canceled my membership on the spot.
Would you actually?
Probably. Well, it's hard because you can always just go to a different one. But at the same time, it's like, if they really kicked you out for no reason.
Right. Because it's like at that point, they're going to have to view cameras and do all this other crap, and they don't want to do that. So they're just going to be like, oh, okay, well, we're just going to believe the woman because she's a woman at that point. Versus if a guy did it again, like what we saw, like they're not going to believe the guy. They're just going to believe the girl at that point. Because it's more prone to happen to women than it is to men at that point.
Okay, well, someday we'll have to do...
Yeah, we'll do another thing. I don't know why I got so amped up on that. I apologize.
An episode on gym attire and men being weird and women being weird or whatever. But the last thing I really want to talk about is...
Yeah.
I think that to solve this problem, like what you are going through, Christians need to be more expressive with their faith. And it doesn't mean you have to be a jerk, but like just to stand up for yourself.
Yeah.
And boycott things.
Right.
My brother wanted to go see a movie the other day, Stephen King one. Mm-hmm. And it didn't even look good anyway. I didn't want to see it regardless. But I was just like, I'm not going to that movie because when Charlie Kirk died, Stephen King was like, well, he was into stoning gays. So, and it's like, first of all, it's a lie.
Right. No, but you know what's funny though too is whenever they have an argument with Kirk, they always like pull up certain clips. They don't listen to the full clip about it.
Yeah, well, we all know that.
Yeah, they're just like pick and choose the words, and then they're just like, "Well, he's a fascist." It's like, okay, do you know what a fascist is? Do you know why he's a fascist? What did he say that was racist? I'm pretty sure he's not racist. He's friends with a black woman and a black friend.
Well, you can say that about anybody. You could have friends that were black and still secretly hate him. But I don't think Charlie Kirk was racist. No. Yeah, I think the clips that they take them out of context. They're not listening to the whole thing. Mm-hmm. But that's just the world we live in.
It is. Because social media has ruined everything.
Yeah.
I'll agree with that. Social media has 100% ruined everything.
Short form has too. But it's so easy to just sit there and scroll video after video.
Yep. And again, you're going to only look for the negative because it's more interesting at that point versus positive. The ozone could patch itself up at this point and everybody'd be like, eh.
Yeah, you probably have a point there. Anyway, we're at about an hour and 15. I don't really have anything to talk about left about any of the situation.
I don't either, other than just basically, I think what you said is right, is that like, you know, Christians need to come out a little bit more and start like standing up for themselves again, not being a jerk about it, but they need to like start showing their faith a little bit more, and that they're not as intimidated like how it used to be before. Because I feel like before, if you came out as Christian, like you could be like basically like frowned upon, or like even basically, I mean, you could still be threatened to this day at this point for being Christian, but yeah. Right now, I think with what happened with Charlie Kirk's death is that it sparked something. It sparked a movement of some kind. Yeah,
it sparked a movement, and there will be a lot of good that comes from it from the spiritual side, but there's also a lot of bad coming from the spiritual side, and that's something that I think would be a lot more fun to talk about. Well, I shouldn't say fun.
Interesting.
Yeah. When we have you and Ethan here.
Yeah.
So we can get all the
details and opinions on everything.
Yeah. So I think that's what we'll do. Anyway, everybody, thank you so much for listening if you made it this far. I hope you all have a blessed week. Bye. Love you.
Love you too.